Hello and happy Wednesday out there. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Hoops Talk. I'm your host, Mike DuPont. Thanks for tuning in, however you might be following along. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you joining us. Feel free to check the description or the comments below for additional links to other channels, should you feel the need to do so. Let's just dive right in. First and foremost, I feel that our men's college basketball game is suffering. If you've watched the product that has been put on the floor this season, it's short of outrageous, but it's borderline embarrassing. It's borderline embarrassing, the product that's been put on the basketball floor, that's been put on the hardwood this season for basketball fans. I feel that the men's game specifically is beginning to suffer due to the one and done rules put in place. If you're not familiar with the one and done men's format, the rules do call for a men's collegiate basketball athletes at the Division I level to spend at least one season at their school of choice that they commit or sign to, and after that one season, they have a choice. It is their choice. It is the choice of the student athlete. A few examples I would like to present to you from the 2019-2018 draft. Again, feel free to share your thoughts if you're following along, whatever outlet you might be following along. But from the 2019 and 2018 classes, a few names: R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson, James Wiseman of the potential 2020 class, DeAndre Ayton, Bobo, Marvin Bagley, Mo Bamba, Michael Porter Jr. All these names are players. All these names are names of players who exhausted their one season and then explored the route to the professional level. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that they shouldn't have that option, that they shouldn't be able to explore the professional level. What I'm merely suggesting is have those kids have the option, because many of these prospects have been professional league prospects since their high school days. Give them the option to go to the professional level out of high school. And if not, if they do want to go to college, that option is still available for those for those athletes who do want to explore the path of the student athlete. And they do want to experience that, still have that option available for them. But if you are going to commit to going to college, then you have to stay for at least 2 years. You have to stay for at least 2 years. Extremely similar to the men's college football path, except you have to stay for 3 years. Now, I would say those 2 years would include redshirt years. So if you do redshirt your freshman year, and then if you do redshirt your first year and then you explode your redshirt freshman year, you should be able to, under those rules, you should be able to explore the professional level. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that college and high school have to be the only route. I really appreciate, I have a real appreciation for the overseas trend that has begun to boom, and most noticeably this season, taken by LaMelo Ball, the youngest of the Ball brothers, and I do feel that is a serviceable that's a serviceable option as well. And I guess what I'm saying overall, with all three of these choices, allow our student athletes to be empowered with more options. Give them more options to have moving forward. If you want to, if you feel that you're talented enough, if you're Zion Williamson, if you're R.J. Barrett, if you're James Wiseman, and you feel you're talented enough out of high school to play at 18 years old, that option should be available. If you feel like if you feel like you need to go to college, if you feel like you would like to go to college, if you're curious about what opportunities await you in college, then you should have to. You can't truly commit to the life of a student athlete in 365 days. You should have to at least commit to serving 2 academic calendars. You should have to commit to serving 2 academic calendars, not only for the student, not only for the athlete experience, but for the student experience. Also, I would also include for the social experience, not for the obvious reasons, but also for that of the extracurricular activities, the extracurricular demands of the student athlete. For example, something as simple as growing accustomed to media availabilities. At the college level, that is something that you may be introduced to that you didn't experience at the high school level, and it's not something that you can that you grow. That everybody, it's not something that all personalities adapt to in 365 days. And again, if you don't feel like college is the best option for you, and that's not something you want to explore, you could still go overseas. If you want to go overseas and you want to see what else the world has to offer, that option is still available. I'm saying we need to empower our athletes with more decisions. What I don't believe that could be I don't believe that's the worst thing that we could give them is more options. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Now let's move on to our next topic. Looking back, we did have 2 nationally televised games last night that we talked about on yesterday's episode. The Memphis Grizzlies took on the Houston Rockets. The Memphis Grizzlies did come away with a 121-110 victory over the Houston Rockets in Memphis. The Rockets' loss drops them to 5th place, moves the Clippers to 4th place. So the Rockets are now being stared down by the Mavericks. The Mavericks are only a game and a half behind the Rockets after picking up a 124-97 victory over the Golden State Warriors last night as well. Again, both of those games were on NBA television, on NBA TV last night. The Memphis Grizzlies came away with the 121-110 victory at the FedEx Forum. The Dallas Mavericks came away with the 124-97 victory in San Francisco over the Golden State Warriors. A few stats of note: Luka Doncic in the win did finish with, I believe he had 20 points. He had 8 rebounds as well in that victory. Dwight Powell had 21.6 rebounds. He went 9 for 9, a perfect 9 for 9. Shout out to Dwight in that game. He's definitely been performing as of late. So we've got to give him his credit. We've got to give him his due. We do have 2 nationally televised games on the docket tonight, starting with an Atlantic Division matchup between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. Both teams are 2-3 in their last 5 contests. It's going to be a 6 o'clock tip-off on ESPN. The Sixers are favored by 7.5 points. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see the Nets come away with the win. Philadelphia is surprisingly good at home. I'm not going to sit here and boast too much about them because they have struggled as of late, but if you do go back and check the records, they are pretty good at home. They haven't lost a home game since losing to the Mavericks in December. In late December, albeit, but December nonetheless. The Philadelphia 76ers are going to are at home hosting the Brooklyn Nets. 6 o'clock tip-off on ESPN. After that, immediately following, the Houston Rockets are hosting the Portland Trail Blazers. That's got an 8:30 tip on ESPN. The Rockets are favored to win by 8 points, but I'll tell you one thing. James Harden's taking 37 shots. It's going to be a rough night. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Trailblazers come away with the victory there either. Again, I've got both road teams winning tonight. We'll look at it tomorrow. Both games are going to be televised on ESPN starting at 6 o'clock with that Philly-Brooklyn tip. Let me know in the comments who you've got winning, and if you think, because I didn't hear from anybody yesterday, if you think the Sixers need to look into making a trade. I did hear from my friend Just Jordan. Jordan thinks that the Sixers need to go ahead and look into trading Joel Embiid. If you agree with Jordan, I'd love to hear from you. Again, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Have a great day and be blessed.